Ever feel like you're playing a game where the rules are rigged? You work hard, you pay your taxes, you try to get ahead, but it feels like you're just treading water. Meanwhile, you hear stories about billionaires paying a lower tax rate than their secretaries. How is that even possible? It's not a mistake, and it's not by accident. It's by design. The system is built with secret passages and hidden doors, available only to those with the keys. Today, we're going to unlock those doors. We're diving deep into the shocking and completely legal loopholes that allow the ultra-wealthy to pay pennies on the dollar, while the rest of us shoulder the burden. This isn't just about numbers. It's about fairness. It's about understanding the rules of the game so we can start a conversation about how to change them. So, how do they do it? The first and most important thing to understand is the difference between income and wealth. Most of us earn our money through a salary. That money hits our bank account, it's called income, and it gets taxed right away. Imagine you buy a stock for $100. A year later, it's worth $1,000. You are $900 richer, right? That's what we call an unrealized gain. You haven't sold the stock, so you haven't realized the profit yet. According to the tax code, you don't owe any tax on that $900 gain. A billionaire could have a stock portfolio that grows by $1 billion in a year, and if they don't sell any of it, their taxable income could be zero. They've become $1 billion richer, but on paper, they've earned nothing. This is the fundamental loophole that underpins everything else. They live off their wealth, not their income. You might be thinking, okay, but they still need cash to live, right? To buy yachts and private jets? Absolutely. And this is where it gets even more clever. Instead of selling their assets and triggering a tax bill, they borrow against them. It's a strategy called buy, borrow, die. Let's break it down. First, they buy assets that they expect to appreciate, like stocks or real estate. Then they borrow. Banks love to lend money to billionaires. Why? Because they have massive collateral. A billionaire can go to a bank and say, I have $1 billion in stocks. I'd like a loan for $50 million. The bank sees that as a super safe loan and will offer an incredibly low interest rate, maybe 1% or 2%. The billionaire gets the $50 million in cash, tax-free. Why tax-free? Because borrowed money isn't considered income. Think about it. When you take out a student loan or a mortgage, you don't pay income tax on that money. It's the same principle, just on a scale most of us can't imagine. They can live a lavish lifestyle for years, or even decades, all on borrowed money, while their assets continue to grow in the background. Now for the final and most mind-boggling part of the strategy, die. This sounds morbid, but it's purely a financial planning term. When a wealthy individual passes away, their heirs inherit their assets. And here's the kicker. Thanks to a loophole called the stepped-up basis, the original cost of those assets is stepped up to its market value at the time of death. Let's go back to our example. The stock bought for $100 is now worth, let's say, $5,000 when the owner passes away. But that's not all. For the money they do end up getting taxed on, the rates are often much lower. When you or I earn money from a job, it's taxed at ordinary income rates, which can go up to 37%. But when a wealthy person finally decides to sell an asset they've held for more than a year, that profit is considered a long-term capital gain. And the top tax rate for long-term capital gains is only 20%. So even when they do pay taxes, they're often paying at a much lower rate than a high-earning doctor, lawyer, or engineer pays on their salary. A nurse working overtime could easily be in a higher tax bracket than a billionaire realizing capital gains. And we haven't even touched on the more complex strategies. They use sophisticated trusts, like grantor-retained annuity trusts or GRATs, to pass wealth to their children with minimal or no estate or gift tax. They make massive charitable donations, which are not only good for their public image but also provide huge tax deductions. They can even donate appreciated stock directly to a charity. By doing this, they get a tax deduction for the full market value of the stock, and they never have to pay the capital gains tax on its growth. It's a win-win for them and the charity, but a loss for the U.S. Treasury. Then there's the world of offshoring. By setting up shell companies and accounts in tax havens like the Cayman Islands or Bermuda, they can move money around the globe, making it incredibly difficult for tax authorities to track. While laws have tightened up, a legion of high-priced lawyers and accountants is always finding new and creative ways to exploit international tax codes. This isn't just about saving a few bucks, it's a global industry designed to shield wealth from taxation. So, what does this all mean for you? It means the tax burden gets shifted. When one group isn't paying its fair share, someone else has to make up the difference. That someone is the middle class and working families. It's the small business owner who can't afford a team of tax lawyers. It's the salaried employee whose taxes are automatically deducted from every paycheck. This lack of revenue also means less money for things we all rely on: roads, schools, healthcare, scientific research, and national defense. It creates a system where wealth begets more wealth, concentrating economic and political power into fewer and fewer hands. This isn't a partisan issue, it's a structural issue. It's about a tax code that has become so complex and filled with exceptions that it no longer serves its original purpose of funding our society in a fair and equitable way. Recognizing these problems is the first step toward finding solutions. Ideas like a wealth tax, closing the stepped-up basis loophole, or equalizing the tax rates on wages and capital gains are all part of the conversation. Understanding this system isn't about shaming the wealthy. It's about empowering ourselves with knowledge. The rules of the game were written by people, and they can be rewritten by people. When you understand how wealth is protected, you can see why the tax debate is so much more than just numbers on a page. It's about the kind of society we want to live in, one where hard work is rewarded and everyone contributes their fair share to the common good. Thank you so much for taking the time to explore this complex topic with me today. If you found this information eye-opening, please hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into the systems that shape our world. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think is the most shocking loophole? Let's get the conversation started. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.